Hey everyone, it's another edition of Sauce Talk, Office Edition. That's a mess back there. Ignore all that. Anyway, normally I can do these at home with my usual getup, but I have some extra time this afternoon at the office. I'm uninterrupted, and well, frankly, it's not always easy to get time to myself at home where I can record these things. So I thought, why not knock out one of these while I'm not being productive at work? This week's sauce is getting back to tradition. Instead of a hot sauce, instead of a salsa, it is an Italian pasta sauce. And it's a name that we all know and, well, have opinions about, I'm sure. Specifically, though, this is Prego, no sugar added, mushroom. I'm going to put that graphic right there and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Also, forgive me if the sound isn't as good this week as it is often because I usually have an external mic. It makes me sound all wonderful. You can hear my melodic voice that much clearer. But hey, I'm kind of running and gunning it here. It's a little bit on the road, so doing the best I can, and sacrifices have to be made. Specifically about this Prego no sugar added mushroom sauce, well, I've got opinions because, as I've said in past videos, I prefer a pasta sauce that doesn't have a lot of sweetness. Preferably no sugar added, because there are some very good varieties of that, and I think that the sugar really kind of distracts from what I like about a sauce, which is the tomatoey-ness, an actual adjective, and whatever herbs, spices, whatever, if it's mushroom like this, the mushroom, I don't want it to be distracted by the sweetness and sugar, which sometimes overwhelms, especially in cheaper sauces. One fun bit of trivia about Prego as a company: Prego in Italian stands for a woman with child. Do with that what you will. So overall, is this a good sauce? Well, I have thoughts. I would say Prego is one of the definitions of the mass-produced, middle-of-the-road kind of pasta sauces. There's a consistency there that you know what you're getting, and it's not going to surprise you, which is okay in a pinch, and if you don't know what else to get, it's a safe choice. But like ragu, it's usually nothing special, and this is no exception. I've always liked the mushroom variety of this, but yeah, it's very smooth. There isn't really any character, any chunks, anything, well, interesting texturally. So that's a bit of a bummer. When I was a little kid, I always preferred Prego over ragu for one reason or another. I don't know why I had such strong feelings. And as I get older, I feel like maybe I'm drifting the other way, although there are much better options than either of them, to be honest. But as far as this, I do have to give it some credit. It, well, lives up to the name, doesn't have sugar added, so there's something cool about that. But aside from that, it's still very bland and very one note. There is a little harshness, a little bite, a little bitterness that comes through that the sugar would normally mute, which I don't mind so much, but of course, I'm keeping this in, by the way. One of the dangers of doing this when I should be doing something else. But anyway, where was I? Okay. Yeah, there's a little bitterness that normally would be muted by the sugar, but I think that's what you have to come to expect when you don't have sugar in there. And I prefer to avoid excess sugar when I can, and that's a sacrifice I'm happy to endure, because I prefer a savory flavor as opposed to a sweet flavor, especially in an entree, personally. I think sweet entrees are, well, not my bag. I'm not going to knock them. I'm sure there's a space for them. But aside from that, there isn't really a lot to say about this sauce. It's very mass-produced. It's very much what you'd expect. Not quite as sweet, so I think that gives it an extra bonus. Score time, maybe? Everyone's mileage with this sauce is going to vary, I would say, just because, well, if you want something sweet, it's not going to do it. If you want something a little, well, not so sweet, it's also going to come up a little short, but at the same time, I would say normally it's the definition of a middle-of-the-road sauce as Prego mushroom. So that would be, out of 5 spaghettis, that would be 2.5. But I am going to give it a little extra love just because it doesn't have sugar added, so I'll make it, and this might be generous on my part. I may look back on this at some point and say, what were you thinking? But I'll give it a 3 out of 5 spaghettis. It's not bad, but of course, it's safe. But of course, there's always something better out there. And just keep that in mind. So thank you so much for tuning in. Please follow us on, well, Lesser of Two Equals is Twitter, and we're on Facebook, and Decent Exposure Radio is on Instagram. This is going to appear on all of those. YouTube, of course, Lesser of Two Equals. And you can write lesseroftwoequals@gmail.com if you have anything specific you want to say. Hopefully nice things, but, well, I can't control that. Stay safe, stay happy, stay cool, and stay saucy.